Okay. The first problem is what, kids? What's the first problem? We don't have a lot, right? We don't have a lot, okay? Eyes and ears. The second problem is, what do people do with this problem? Most people.
They just don't really care.
Do they fight it?
No. Yes.
I would argue they do, right? People try to control things they can't. They complain, they wish, they want, right? They don't accept that they can't control a lot of things. Does that make sense, kids?
Yeah.
So problem number 2 is we don't accept this. We got that, boys?
No. We don't accept protein bars.
Stay on topic, boys. Okay, listen. Eyes and ears. Okay? We learned we have, from last class, we have a limited amount of energy. Yes. So that means when we spend energy somewhere, that's less energy being spent someplace else, correct? So if we're spending a lot of energy not accepting that we don't have a lot of control, and we try to control a lot of things we can't, that's less energy being spent where?
Things we can't control.
Things you can control in the present. Perfect, Duke. Does that make sense, kids? So we have to stop using the little power that we do have poorly. Because if we waste it on trying to control things we can't maximize what we do have control over.
Yes.
We on that same page? Yeah. Are we all dealt different cards, kids?
Oh, yeah.
We're all dealt different cards in life, right? We're given different strengths, get different weaknesses, different opportunities, okay? But can we control any of that? No, we can't fight that. So stop trying to wish it to be different and start maximizing what you do have, the power you do have to control. Does that make sense? So that is what I like to call, this is a big word, kids, and this is something you're going to learn in high school, a paradox, okay? All that means, kids, is it sounds like something that someone else says shouldn't be true, but it is true, right? So what I'm about to say, okay, eyes and ears, please. Okay, what I'm about to say, all right, sounds like it shouldn't be true, but it is true. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay? So it's called the paradox of control. Once I give up trying to control I gain a lot of it. Yep. So you can start writing it, and now is the time when you can eat when people are writing, Chapman. Just because it makes noise while I'm talking. Trying. Sorry, guys, my smartboard handwriting is not good.
Wait, once I give trying.
Once I give, good catch, boys. Once I give up trying to control, I gain a whole lot of it.
That doesn't make sense.
That's what a paradox is. And we're going to break down why that is. Do we get what a paradox is now, boys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have to write, I gain a lot of it?
Yep.
No. Do we have to put the period to?
Nope. Whatever helps you understand it is what I want you to do. Maybe.
What? Well, that's not correct grammar. There should be a comma there.
Okay. Listen. Why is this true?
Why is it true?
This is what we're going to do. I'm going to give you 1 minute. Table 2 is a team, table 1 is a team. I want you to discuss amongst your team members and try and figure out why this is a true statement. Cool?
Yeah.
Refer back to class 5.
Class
when we talked about energy.
What class is this?
Class 6. Oh.
Okay, guys, let's talk.
Sorry, class 6 was last week's.
Yeah.
My bad. This is class 7.
Wait, what's class 6 column?
I don't know what class.
This is class 6 for me.
Wait.
Guys, let's focus.
Okay, 1 minute. Talk amongst your teams. I want to see if you guys can figure it out.
I don't know which one is class 5. Okay, this. I think this is class 4. I mean, class something 4. I think this is class 5. Hold on. Oh yeah, see. Alright, I got it right here.
You got to talk amongst your team, kids.
I'm trying.
I'm looking.
What did you say? It means don't give up. What did you say, Jack?
No, we have to.
What do you mean, buddy?
What did you say?
You right now as a team, you're talking about why this is true.
Yeah, we have to figure out
I
what.
already figured it out.
Does anybody else have any guesses?
No.
Okay. Ready, everyone? This is the question. You're talking amongst your groups why you think this is true. I haven't told you the answer yet, so is it okay if you don't get it right? It's okay. I just wanted to test you to see if you could come up with it with your own reasoning without me saying it yet.
I never got to talk to my teams yet.
Okay, I think I know.
I didn't. And once I give up, you can.
Okay, freeze. Table 2, stand up. You're going to stand in that corner so you can talk to each other. Give you 30 seconds. Table 1, stand up and stand in this corner so you can talk to each other. That's fine. That's fine.
Hey, we did it. Can we go back?
Do you guys have a guess or no? Okay.
Let Chapman go. Let Chapman go.
Have you talked to him, Carson, about your guess?
Wait,
Have you told them what your guess is?
Is the group picking?
Oh, okay.
Group picking or are you picking?
Kellen's going. He had it.
Alright.
Or wait, no.
Chapman had it.
Oh, Chapman had it.
And Chapman.
Let them finish. I heard it in this group. You guys got it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Alright, Chapman. Good job. Yeah.
Hey, you're not
Does
allowed
this
to
need
hear
an
us.
example or like? I don't think this. I don't think. I don't.
I don't think we're supposed to do that.
Are we supposed to do an example?
Is that your underwear sticking out?
Compression. It's working out. All right. So, Chapman, what do you want to say to the class? Is what you think the reasoning that statement's true?
It's because if you use less energy trying to control, you have more energy to actually control.
Things you can't control, correct? Is that what you're going to say, Cars? What were you going to say, buddy?
It's similar, but I was gonna say you can't. So you once you give up trying to control it, or whatever you're trying to control, then you keep practicing and practicing, and then you give up, and then you gain a lot of it.
It's close. Chapman was the closest, though, okay? Does what Chapman said make sense, boys?
Yes.
Right, because we learned the energy that we have is limited. So when we spend it somewhere, that's less being spent somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're spending a lot of energy, Christian, on trying to control something you can't, you don't have a lot of energy to do what you can do.
Yeah.
Yes? Yes, Christian, you can go to the bathroom. We on that same page, boys?
Can I go fill up my water?
Nope. We on that same page, boys? Cool. All right. Now, listen up. Okay. Okay. So, boys, habits of past self. What are habits?
Stuff that we do regularly without really thinking.
Without really thinking.
Your knuckles or something?
Yep. So habits are something you do regularly without thinking or without giving much thought to it, and we're mindless, correct? Do you remember that analogy? When the lights are dark, okay, are we mindless?
Yes.
We can't see what's going on. We can't understand the thoughts and feelings we're experiencing. When we turn the lights on, okay, is that mindfulness?
Yeah.
Yes. When we are doing something out of habit, are the lights on or off, Wesley? Listen, freeze, boys. Eyes and ears. Come here. Okay? When I'm talking, we got to be paying attention. We can't be fiddling with our stuff and then continue to reach down on the ground to grab for it. Cool? We don't have to worry about it right now, buddy. We'll get it. Cool? Wesley, do you know the answer to what I asked or no?
I didn't really hear it.
Off.
Off, right? So when we're doing something out of habit, our mindfulness is off, right? And when our mindfulness is off, boys, do we have a lot of control?
No.
No. Okay? So I want you to write this down, all right? When we have more habits of past self or mindlessness, who has less control? You do.
Do we have to write it? Do we have to write it?
Yep.
Oh.
Draw that diagram.
Oh, okay. Mindfulness. That's your mindfulness.
Wait, how long is this lesson?
Does that say mine?
45 minutes.
Hey.
Mindlessness.
Oh, mine.
And this represents control, right?
What does? Mine. What does that say? Mindlessness.
Okay, we'll do this, boys.
Wait, habits of self or what?
Listen. Okay? If we're more mindless, boys, we have less what?
Control. Yeah, control.
We have less control. Okay, so let's draw that.
Okay, this goes by 1, 2.
Boys, listen, we have to stay on topic. We can talk about that later. Cool? Okay. Do you have this written down,
I don't.
Christian?
I wrote the last diagram and it made sense. Is that okay?
That's totally fine. Okay. So do we get, boys, how we have less control if we're more mindless? We get that? So being more mindful gives us more what?
Control.
Control and power. We're on the same page? Beautiful.
Oh, it kind of talks about like the flow mind or whatever it's called.
Yep. Now, boys, let's think of this line, okay, and this represents the habits of past self. If, boys, let's say you do something mindlessly. So let's say Christian walks up out of the building and he doesn't really know, he's not aware that he's doing that. He gets into his car and he's like, wow, I got here without really having to think or do anything to get to my car. Right? Is that a state of mindlessness?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. When we're in that state of mindlessness, boys, are we past self or present self? Boom. I am past self if I'm acting out of habit or if I'm mindless. Let's write that down. I am past self if I'm acting out of habit or I'm mindless.
I'm past self.
Yep.
I'm past self with what? I'm acting out of habit.
Yep.
Wait, we write our habits?
No.
I am past self if I'm acting out of habit or if I'm mindless. I am past self.
Acting out of what? Mindless?
Habit.
Yummy.
Okay.
Think what? Acting mindless?
I am past self if I'm acting out of habit. Let's just write that down. Boys, listen. I have a short fuse today, and I'm sorry for that, but we need to do a better job of listening. And I know this is complicated, and I get it's hard to understand, but we got to be paying attention. I need all your focus. Cool? Cool. All right. So, if I'm acting out of habit, that is my past self, correct?
Yeah.
In that moment, does present self have any control?
No, not really.
Who am I trying to give power to?
The present.
I'm trying to give power to the present you. I want you to be able to choose who you want to be in the moment and to be free of the habits that you have within the mind. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If we continue a lot of these habits, boys, over time, is there going to be a lot of change? No, nothing's really going to change. You can continue to be your past self over and over and over again. Does that make sense? The solution to the mindlessness and the habits of our past self, Christian, is something called intention. Write that down. Intention. We learned this from class 6 with energy and space. What's intention?
Oh, intention is doing something on purpose?
Boom. Write that down. Intention is doing something on purpose.
Like, say you smack someone on purpose. And like, you did that intentionally, and you're like, oh, it's an accident. What?
So this is good. We can break that example down. Intention is doing something on purpose, correct? So this is great. So Cars came up with a good example. We're going to use a less violent example. But let's say that you are in an argument with somebody, right? And the second that someone starts arguing with you and they have an opposing view, you immediately say something mean to them, okay? Sometimes that happens, right? If you said that mean thing out of habits from your past actions, okay, can that be an accident?
Yes.
It can be, right? That's a habitual response. That was a mindless response, right? So did you have any power in that moment?
No.
No.
That happens sometimes.
Does that make sense? So this is what I'm talking about. A lot of our problems come from who? The habits of?
The past self.
The habits of the past self, right? You never have a problem if you're fully choosing with your present self. Does that make sense, Cars, or no? So that's how those situations can sometimes be an accident. Cool, Christian? Yeah?
That happens.
Okay. Okay, eyes and ears. Look, eyes and ears. So the intention is the one that stops this. It halts the habits of the past self, okay? And it creates space, boys, for you to choose, for you to figure out, who do I want to be in this moment? And this gives the present self power.
Wait, I want to write this down because it looks important.
I think I need to rewrite
I'm
this.
so.
That's okay.
So what's that upper line for?
This one,
Yeah.
this represents a change.
Okay, what's that circle for?
The space for intention to choose.
Okie dokie.
What's that other top of the line for?
That represents the change.
No, like the one up here, like intention, and then go straight up.
That is intention. It's stopping the
Yeah, but
the past self.
The one, on the right of the circle, that one he's talking about. This.
We're getting too caught up in the diagram, okay? Listen. What's the solution? What's the solution to the problem of the habits of the past self?
Working it out, trying to fix it.
Having intention?
Boom. Intention, right? Is intention the answer?
Yeah.
Because when you're doing something on purpose, do you have power and do you have choice?
Yeah. Wait. Yeah.
Right, Duke? Yeah. If I do something on purpose, I'm choosing to do it?
Yes.
Yes.
Accident?
Are we all on the same page? Yeah. We get that. So it's about increasing our ability to be intentional.
Yes.
Does this make sense? Mm-hmm. It does? Or are we just shaking my head? Wesley, do we get it? Yes? Okay. Now, boys, there's two types of intention, okay? The first one I'm going to show you is the wrong type of intention. It's the type of intention that most people use, all right? This is called trying intention. So we can write that down.
I don't have any more room.
There's another page, buddy. Okay.
What's that big circle?
We're going to get to it. Do we have trying intention written down? You got trying intention? Do we want this type of intention that I'm about to explain?
No.
No. Okay, so eyes and ears. All right. Let's say that you have a friend, okay, and you're overly concerned with how this friend thinks about you, okay, and you want them to like you, okay? A lot of people, this is a very common example, intentionally do things to try and get a certain result, okay? Yep, so let's say I start complimenting my friend a lot because I want my friend to like me more, okay? I have an intention of complimenting my friend, but attached to this is an expectation or result that I want to happen with the intention, correct? Is this trying to control something you can't control?
Yeah.
It is. Is that the problem? Yeah. So you can be intentional, but if you don't use it the right way, it still doesn't matter.
So,
Right? Because the separation of the intention, this is the problem. You have this expectation and what you want to happen with the intention. Do we get that?
yeah.
Okay. So we don't want to do that one. So don't intentionally do stuff and expect a result or want a result. Just an intention, and we're going to get to the right intention.
Okay.
Cool? Okay. The correct intention, boys, is surrender intention.
I think I know what that means. I don't. Can I take a guess of what it means?
So well, what we learned, what does surrender mean?
To
Give up. It means give up. To give up.
Give up what?
Oh my God.
Give up, like, if you're playing a game.
What were you going to say, Kellen? Giving up trying to things. Beautiful. So surrender, remember from class, the last class, is giving up trying to control things you can't, correct?
I surrender.
Yes, you're surrendering to trying to control things you can't, boys.
I can't win the war.
Eyes and ears, okay? That's what surrender means, correct?
Yeah.
So you're using your intention, but you're not worried or expecting or wanting a certain result. Does that make sense? So an example of this intention in the same scenario could be you intentionally try to be your best self, but you're not doing it because you want a certain result. You're expecting your friend to like you. You're doing it because you want to be a good person. You're intentional, and you let go of what could happen. You just focus on what you can do.
Yeah.
Do we get that? We're all on the same page?
Yeah.
So what type of intention do we want?
Surrender.
Beautiful. We don't want trying. Cool?
Yeah.
Well, what if we're like the trying intention, like we're trying to learn something? Like, will we use that then?
Well, as long as if your intention is to learn it to the best of your ability and you're not worried about the result of you learning it, that's surrender intention. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Are you going to grow faster, do you think, with this?
Yes.
Because you're not wasting what?
Energy.
You're not wasting energy, right? You're not wasting energy on things you can't control.
The best part is that even in like a decade, you could still watch these videos.
Yeah. You'll be, how old are you right now?
I'd be 20.
You'd be 20? So you could watch this when you're 20 years old. Cool? All right. Now, boys, all right, let's get into, do you have the time? 33. Okay, 33. We're actually on decent pace, surprisingly. Yep, you have an hour left, Christian.
Wait, what?
I'm just kidding, all right? Listen, 10 more minutes.
Okay.
Kids,
Okay.
do you think I understand that it sucks to be in a classroom in the summer?
No.
No, this is actually kind of fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
It sucks. I do.
Even though it's my first one.
listen, I get it, okay? I probably have arguably the hardest job to try and keep you guys focused and wanting to do this, but are you going to use all this stuff for a long time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I promise you, you will appreciate this
Okay.
in a long time from now if you take it seriously.
Okay.
This is everything I wish I would have known at your age. This is what will get you better, faster, the most, is understanding the mind. Because everything you do has to do with it. Right? So if you want to be great, if you want to be really good, right, take it seriously. But if you want to be just like everybody else and fit in with the crowd, then that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But then you don't have to take it seriously.
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah.
All right. Listen. potential. Do we understand what that word means?
The ability to do something, the possibility to do something.
So do we know who Giannis Antetokounmpo is? Yeah. Okay. Let's say this is 18-year-old Giannis and this is 28-year-old Giannis. When Giannis first got in the league, was there a lot of room for him to grow?
Yes.
Now he's in the league. He's been in the league for a while. Is there a lot of room for Giannis to grow?
No, not really.
Not as much room for him to grow. Okay. Does that mean he won't be able to grow?
No.
No. And I also want to get rid of these at the end. Why am I getting rid of these?
So, because there's, you can always keep learning.
Limitless, right?
Yeah.
It's limitless. Yes, that's exactly why we named it that way. Okay? But listen, so this version of Giannis has more growth potential, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, stay with me. All right? Let's say we have two aspects of your life, kids. One aspect, okay, is stuff you care about, right? Say basketball. Do we all care about basketball? Do we want to be really good at basketball?
No.
Okay. Okay. Either sport, whatever you truly care about, okay? If you truly care about it, do you spend a lot of energy and mental focus trying to be the best you can be?
Yes.
You do, right? So there still, of course, is room to grow in this department, okay? But let's say you have something you don't care about at all. What do we do normally when we don't care about something, boys?
We don't really focus.
Do we turn our what off?
Mindfulness.
We turn mindfulness off and we become mindless, correct?
Yeah.
If we don't care about it, we shut that thing off, right? It doesn't matter. It's not important. I don't care about it, right? It doesn't affect my basketball skills, which is what I really care about.
Yeah, like playing soccer.
But listen, it does, right? Are you always training your mind whether you like it or not?
Yeah.
You are training it in every single moment. You are training it right now. You are always training it, whether you like it or not. So the parts of your life that have the most room for growth, kids, are what?
Brain. Young.
The quote-unquote important parts of your life or the not important parts?
Not important.
The not important parts have way more room to grow when we talk about something like increasing intention and increasing what you can control. Okay? Does that make sense, kids? Yeah. So for us, where's all the gold right now in terms of mental training in things that you care about or things you don't care about?
Hold on, what? Oh, and things you care about?
That's where all the gold is for growth?
Oh, no.
Things you don't care about.
Things you don't care about, that's where all the gold is, because right now that's when you're shutting your brain off the most. That's when you're mindless the most. That's when you have the least amount of control. Does that make sense, kids? Yeah. So today we're going to work on something called mindful walking, okay? So we're teaching you how to be mindful while you do something, right? Because does it matter, Christian, if you can be a good meditator and a good person sitting in a chair, or does it matter if you apply it in real life? Apply it in real life. Christian, how you do the chores affects how you play basketball, right? How I mentally approach doing the chores has a direct correlation to how I mentally approach basketball. Do we get how they correlate?
No.
You don't get how those correlate? So your mind has a relationship with the chore, correct? Most of us don't want to do it, so we turn our brain off. We're mindless. Is that hurting our mindfulness and our ability to be present in the moment, focused when we train?
Yes.
See how it has a correlation?
Okay, yeah.
Do we get it? Yeah. Everything you do matters, and how you approach it mentally. Cool? So mindful doing, all right? Mindful walking is what we're going to work on. So I'm going to have what, Christian? You're not raising your hand? Okay. So, mindful walking. I want everybody to stand up over here on this wall. And actually, we're going to go over here. Okay.
Hello, this is past me. Hello, world.
All right, kids. All right.
Hello, subscribers.
All right. Spread out.
Is this ball hollow?
Yes. Spread out. Okay, boys. So, eyes and ears. Listen. All right. How many minutes are we at?
8, 10.
We're at 10.
10 or 8? So this is what we're going to do.
He's at 7. Carson's at 5. I'm at 7.
Carson's at 5.
We're at 10.
I'm at 7.
Listen. Eyes and ears, kids. We're almost there. You're going to split your meditation practice in half. The first half is you're sitting like you've normally been doing. The second half is going to be this. Does that make sense or no?
It makes total sense.
Yes?
Yes.
So if you have 10 minutes, how many minutes are you doing sitting?
5.
How many minutes are you going to do walking? 5. Listen, on your inhale, you're taking 3 steps. On your exhale, you're taking 4 steps. How many steps on the inhale?
3.
How many steps on the exhale? 4. All right, you're connecting your steps with your breath. Just like the sitting meditation, boys, when we get lost, what do?
We refocus.
We refocus to the walking meditation, being fully here and fully in control of what we're intentionally doing. You paying attention?
During the walking, we can't close our eyes, though.
Nope, you're not going to be closing your eyes during walking. Correct. And this is what it's going to look like, boys.
Dad,
Okay?
if I'm at 7 minutes, how much minutes will I
3.5.
3.5?
Cool?
And 2.5.
Okay? So listen up, boys. So when you're doing walking meditation, okay, or walking mindfulness, or mindful doing, all right, you have to find a path to walk. The reason for this is because you have a timer on your phone, correct? Yeah. I don't want you to be worried about the time. So you set a timer and you place it down, okay? Once you have your path designed, all right, what you're going to do is I inhale on my first 3 steps. And we're doing this a lot slower than normal, boys. Why?
So then we can inhale and exhale.
Yes. If you're doing it slower than normal, is it habit?
No.
Wait, no.
You're not walking out of habit then. Is that the goal?
Yes.
Because if it's less out of habit, are you going to have more control, Duke?
No.
You also get more.
If it's less out of habit, are you going to have more control? Yes. Present you has more control then. Are we on the same page or no, boys?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Okay. So I'm walking slower than normal. I'm taking 3 steps. As I do that, I inhale. After my 3rd step, I exhale. Once you get to your 7th step, boys, what are you going to do? Turn around. Once I get to my 7th step on the other end, what am I going to do? Turn around. It's simple and boring. Why? What does your brain do, Wesley, when it's simple and bored?
Make you
It
focus.
turns off the switch. It turns off the lights.
Does it want to wander and become mindless?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? And it helps you come back to the moment.
And then refocus.
Yes, yes. Do we got that, kids? We're almost there, all right? One other thing you're doing, kids, is you're paying attention, very close attention, to what you normally don't see when you walk. Have you boys been walking for most of your life?
Yeah.
So can you do it out of habit? Can you do it mindlessly?
Yes.
That's why it's a great starting point to learn how to not be mindless in actions we normally are mindless in. Make sense? So full speed again. On the turn, am I still saying present to best of my ability? Yes. A lot of you, when I'm going to say go, a lot of you are going to be self-conscious about your pace. Go at your own pace. Don't worry about anybody else. Okay? If you notice yourself getting lost in those thoughts, what can you do? Let it go and reset. Perfect. Make sense? Are there any questions? Do we know what we're doing?
Yes.
Is it a normal walk? You're not, well, yes, you're just going slower. You're not changing anything about your walk, though.
We're on a slow walk.
Make sense? But notice, how does it feel for my foot to hit the ground? Christian, last warning. How does it feel for my foot to hit the ground? Right? How does it feel to balance on one leg? What does it actually feel like to walk? I've never paid attention to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Wait, so you're like focusing on walking and nothing else?
First, connect your steps and your breath, but then, yeah, you're paying attention, nothing else, right? Fully here. If you have full energy in the moment, you can be fully intentional and you have more power.
Yeah, so like they're all gonna go like 5 minutes, I'm gonna go 3 minutes and a half.
Yep.
Each step and I'm done.
Yes, because you started after everybody. Make sense?
It's going to be even more easy.
Yep, you don't have to do it as long, but you got to carry it over into your walking. You're not changing anything. Make sense? All right, boys, get lined up. Let's go.
Hey, Dad, will you tell them when to stop? Start your engine.
Well, in this example, we're only going to go for a few minutes. Cool? Well, we'll see. I got to check the time. Okay. All right, on your marks. Get set. Go. Freeze. We're going again. Everybody by the door. None of that. Got to take it seriously. Mindful walking. Do you walk like this? No. Okay? Duke, was that as present as you could be during that walk? No. Right now, focus. You're bringing as much energy as you possibly can to the moment. That's going to give you more power and choice to be who you want to be. Make sense? I want to see a much better job on this one. Ready? Go. Freeze. Okay, Kellen, do you feel like you understand what you're doing? Feel like you're doing it right? Everyone's going to watch Kellen, okay? He's going to start over there, everyone back against the wall. Duke, so if it's 3 inhales and 4 exhales, how many steps will you be taking on your walk? 7. You took 5 and 4, right? So that's how I know you're not doing it, okay? So we got to connect the steps with the breath. Cool? Watch Kellen, how relaxed he is, okay? And I can tell he's paying attention to the moment and his steps and his breath. Do what you were just doing. That's perfect, okay? Does that make sense, boys? Kellen, good job. That was awesome. Okay, if you get lost, is that okay?
Yeah.
And just come back to the moment. Does that make sense? So now we're learning how to be mindful while doing something instead of just sitting. Make sense? But where is the most room for growth, kids, when we talk about giving yourself more control? Yes?
The non-important stuff.
The things we think aren't important, right? Walking, is that something that's really exciting and something we think is important in our life?
No.
Most of us don't think twice. It is important, right? Most of us don't think twice about it. So there's a lot of room to growth in terms of training our mind to give us more control. Cool?
Yes.
Class dismissed. Good job, kids.
It's done?
Yep.
How long was that? I don't know how long it was.
So kids, you can take 2 minutes off your meditation that's supposed to be for day. 2 minutes. You got it? You do?